about 300 meters down. Now about 350, looking at 15, go around.
Good evening. Tonight, we bring you the remarkable story of a young helicopter pilot whose courage and quick thinking saved countless lives in the jungles of Vietnam. At just 19 years old, Warrant Officer David Jensen didn't hesitate when a distress call crackled over his radio. In the distance, Jensen spotted the co-pilot of a burning F-4 Phantom eject moments before the aircraft plunged into the jungle in a ball of flames. Through the dense canopy, he located the downed airman clinging to the branches. Jensen lowered his chopper as far as it could safely go, giving the officer just enough reach to wrap his arms around the skids and be lifted clear of danger. With the co-pilot secured, Jensen turned his attention to the pilot, Captain Mark Hanley. Within minutes, both men were en route to Camp Sentinel, rescued from almost certain death.
Okay, come 150 meters out. Taking fire. Roger, from where? Roger, 8 o'clock. Keep going around.
This would not be Jensen's only daring rescue. Over 2 tours in Vietnam, the young aviator repeatedly faced similar peril, pulling soldiers out of danger zones under fire, and surviving more near-death incidents than most helicopter pilots in the conflict. Astonishingly, he walked away from all of them without so much as a scratch. Jensen's path to Vietnam began in an unexpected place, a movie theater. After watching the Green Berets, the rebellious teenager, often in trouble at home, decided the army might be his calling. He originally asked his recruiter about becoming a sniper. But the army had more than enough riflemen, they needed helicopter pilots. At first, Jensen wasn't sure he could handle flying. But the recruiter assured him that the army would train him, and if he didn't make it, he could return to his original plan. Taking the chance, Jensen entered flight school after basic training. In high school, he'd been a poor student, but flying gave him a purpose. He attacked his studies with a new determination, moving from basic skills to advanced helicopter training, mastering Hueys, and finally graduating from gunnery school in November of 1968. Most Army helicopter pilots served a single 12-month tour in Vietnam. Jensen volunteered for 2 back-to-back, hoping to finish his combat duty before marrying his fiancée from flight school. His time in country was spent flying UH-1 Hueys, ferrying troops into combat and providing air support. These missions were among the deadliest of the war. Jensen's job was to fly low and slow, searching for signs of enemy movement, bunkers, or hidden trails, often just 50 feet above the ground, drawing enemy fire to reveal their positions. His partner, an UH-1 Cobra gunship, would then strike. When enemy fire erupted, Jensen's observer would toss smoke grenades to mark the target, and Jensen would radio in ground troops. His reflexes had to be instant, pulling up, diving away, and evading incoming fire in seconds. Despite the odds, he survived being shot down 7 times. On one mission, his chopper took a direct hit. Jensen managed to keep the helicopter in the air for another 15 minutes, trying to reach flat ground. Spotting a clearing in a rice paddy, Jensen made a hard landing. Seconds after he and his gunner leapt clear, the helicopter exploded in a massive fireball. Both men walked away uninjured. Another time, Jensen had just rescued 2 downed pilots when his helicopter was hit again, this time crashing behind enemy lines. With only 2 pistols among them, the 4 men crawled into thick elephant grass and hid in a bomb crater. Enemy troops passed within 5 feet of their position. For nearly 3 hours they lay still before rescue helicopters finally arrived. Though hunter-killer missions were his primary duty, Jensen always kept an ear tuned to the emergency channel. He flew medical evacuations, supplied drops, and extractions whenever needed. On one mission, He spotted a narrow trail leading to a concealed cave. Guiding ground troops in, he helped uncover a weapons cache and a North Vietnamese flag. As thanks, the soldiers scrawled messages on it to Thunder 20, Jensen's call sign, and presented it to him. Jensen returned to the United States in July 1970. Instead of a hero's welcome, he was met at Seattle-Tacoma Airport by protesters shouting insults, an experience that left him shaken after all he'd endured. Two weeks later, he married his fiancée, Laura. Civilian life proved challenging. He sold vacuum cleaners, delivered milk, and eventually settled in her hometown of El Paso, Texas, working his way up from prison guard to a national safety administrator in Washington, D.C. He never flew professionally again. Though he received 2 distinguished flying crosses, Jensen says the recognition that meant the most came from the wife of Captain Hanley, the pilot he rescued. In a private letter, she wrote,
"If not for you, your courage and skill, I would not have had 43 years with Mark. My son would not exist. You gave me my life back. I am forever in your debt."
For the men who owe their lives to him, Warrant Officer David Jensen will always be more than just a pilot. He'll be the indestructible guardian of the skies. This is Todd Pike reporting for the Foreign News Agency. Back to the newsroom.